You're about to see us take the dually from laying frame like this to body dropped and laying hard. So let's get into it. Well, folks, I think it's time to get this thing laying the rocker on the ground. You know, it's one of those things when you bag it, you don't body drop it, and then years go by and you still haven't. That's kind of what's been happening with this, but I've always said I was doing it, and I think I just gotta get after it and get it done. So we got a bunch of stuff pulled out of the shop, kind of rearranging. Gonna get this thing on the lift, opening some stuff up, ready to get after it. Day one update. It's on the lift. We got the bed out. We got the seats out. We got the carpet out. Look at that old school. Man, old school, baby. We got radiator out. Steering column is unbolted, but not all the way. Brake lines are off. Hydro boost lines are off, I guess. So we're almost ready to, maybe tomorrow we'll get this cab lifted up, get the cab up, start on that frame, baby. Yes, sir. I'm gonna keep going, okay? There we go. Cab is floating. Frame is down. Unhooked. Oh yeah. There we go. Here's the frame stripped down. We're getting ready to pull that cross member because we're gonna do the body drop split with a Z and a pancake at the cross member, and trying to clean everything as we go. So that's what we got going here. Here it is marked up for that 1.5" pancake. So I had Noah help me and get it hammered out. You can tell I drive this baby low, huh? That's why we're raising these up a little bit. Just like that, we got the crossover back in, 1.5" pancake. So now, it's a matter of getting this frame Z'd, got it cleaned up, gonna start marking some lines. Got our frame marked up, got the angle, so we're gonna go up 3, forward 1.5", try to center this wheel up a little bit. Then we got our marks here. We're gonna score these so we know 3 inches once we bring the frame up. Same thing on this side. We got it leveled out, sitting on some steel for our references. And then once we get that up, then we'll have to Z these and do the opposite. So let's get it. Just like that, we're cut, baby. Got the frame horns cut off, so now we're ready to drop those down. Then it's time to cut the bottom of the frame, get some tubing in there, and we can do a test look. All right, we're Z'd, baby. Now it's a matter of welding and bracing and doing all that, but we're getting there. Just like that, frame is cut down. Just gotta do some cleaning up and put some tubing in there. We did some welds around the body mounts because all these rivets had to get ground down on the backside so that the tubing will sit in there. So just threw some welds just to keep those good. We got our first piece, a 2x4 in there. We went ahead and went up to the Z. We're gonna tack it, then we're gonna drop that down, weld the backside of the two together because we can't get to them. And then we'll get it set back into place and get it welded up. This gets trimmed off, plate it in, and then we'll have to do some sort of a gusset here and probably plate this whole deal. So that's where we're at. Update, we got the front Z plated and gusseted in there. We got that Z plated. We cut this part off so it looked a lot better. We're just welding the lower part now. Went ahead and plated the whole inside. We got plates on the rear here just to tie the frame into the 2x4. So we're almost ready to get this thing back on its wheels and under the truck. So even though we only Z'd it, or pancaked it 1.5 inches, something about the C30 steering is bigger than C10's because it was hitting pretty hard on the cross member. So what we ended up doing is we left the lower hole the same, and then we just kind of opened these three, kind of slotted them. I got to come in and weld some more back in here. But what we did is we rotated the steering box up just to bring this closer to the frame. Instead of just raising it straight up, we just kind of tilted it. It's gonna give me a little bit more of a better shot on this, I think, too, for the steering shaft. So that might be kind of a win-win. So I got this side up and away from the cross member and the U-bolt there. So now this side, we're just gonna kind of do the same thing, figure out how it needs to go, and kind of slide it up and forward or whatever, just to get that level and get it all to clear. So you change one thing and then you gotta change another thing and then you gotta change another thing. So there's 2 days I thought we were gonna have this frame under the cab and we still don't. So hopefully tomorrow we can get it sitting under here. So you can see this side, like I said, just rotated this up and we got this, basically a fitment arm to be just about to hit the frame. Not quite, it was about as high as we can get. If it binds up or something, I can do a little clearancing. This side, we wanted to get this about the same. Wasn't able to just tilt this one as much, so kind of just drilled a new hole. You can see where the old hole was. And then, so kind of angled and up about 1/2 inch. And we got full clearance there. So if you pancake across there, you need a little clearance, you can always cheat it like that. So I got the steering back on, clearing, and wheels are on, bags are hooked back up. So this thing is ready to roll, but before I can test fit it under there, I gotta pull this bumper off because it hits before the frame does now. So I'm gonna get that off, and then I'm gonna see about getting it under there and getting a look-see. Come on! All right, we're back down on the frame. Hopefully I didn't scoot it too far forward. Oh well, I think when it lays out, it'll look better. Gotta pull the battery because that's definitely gonna hit. And these canisters. So we're super close and we're basically rubbing here. This side is a little bit of clearance, probably just because the cab's not all the way perfectly centered. But my fake studs are hitting, so I just hammered those in. I have single wheel rotors I'm probably gonna run with like a little spacer to bring it in a little bit. So I might be able to go a little lower and get a better look at it though. All right, lower it down a little, Aldo. Oh yeah, now we're talking. I don't think the hood's gonna close the way these are right now. Nope, that's all we got. But if that wheel's in 1 inch or 1.5 inches, I think it'll clear. Then we'll still have room to the firewall. We gotta rotate this wiper motor. But overall, we got quite a bit of room to the firewall. Our wheel looks nice and centered, so I'm glad I pushed it forward. Might be a little too much, but I'd rather it be that than the other way. So, oh yeah. Boom. just like that. We're laying pinch weld right now. But I think we're gonna be sitting on that rocker. I think I gotta do it. But definitely gotta, the back's not laying all the way for the rocker to hit, so gotta work on that. Bring the tires in. I think the hood hinges will work. But man, I like to see it. Tranny tunnel's coming out. One more little guy here, and he's on the ground. Ding, ding, ding. Hey. Coming to you live from inside, come on. All right, did a little test fit, and I don't know if the tranny's sitting in here straight because it's just kind of on ratchet straps, but definitely hitting right about there. And over here, it's gonna need a little bit more clearancing. But I scooted the engine back because I moved the crossmember forward, but I'm thinking we might need to scoot the engine forward, gain us a little bit of clearance on the firewall and also this bell housing. So gotta check that, and we're getting closer. All right, I moved the engine back, and then it was hitting the firewall, so I went ahead and put it back in the stock location, but slid back about a ½ inch. So, you know, with the crossover forward 1.5 inches, the engine's 1.25 inches probably forward. So got firewall clearance now. I got plenty of room for the distributor, so that's good. I think I could get it out if I had to. We'll see. I still have room. The mechanical fan still fits with the radiator, but I probably have to go electric radiator fans anyways. Got the tranny tunnel cut out, and I just set the piece back on top to get an idea on how much it's gonna have to be raised. That's sitting on top of the tranny, so it's not too raised too much. So I'm gonna get a tranny crossmember built, and then once that's fully mounted, then I'll go ahead and finish the tunnel so I know nothing's gonna change. Right now I'm just trying to think of things that I need to do while the body is on the frame to mock up before I pull it back off and do exhaust fuel lines. Tranny crossmember, try to just button stuff up one time. So let's go. Whipped up a little transmission crossmember. Got some bushings. My boy Josh hooked me up with some shackles, so I cut those in half, made tabs. Harvested a piece off the factory crossmember, so I already had the holes, and now I just got to weld her up, and that'll be mounted. All right, progress so far. Got the headers clearanced and in. Got that. So I'm getting ready to start mocking up some exhaust. Transmission crossmember is all welded up, painted up, and that's sitting in there. Getting ready to figure out this drive shaft. And I went back and looked at this old sucker. I was cruising this thing for like a long time, and I always had a little vibration because I thought my angles were real bad, but look. I mean, that's how this old sucker's been running, so it's a good thing we're body dropping it. Just start with a U-joint swap, and next thing you know, body drop, baby. Come on. All right, carrier bearing crossmembers in. I went ahead and used the stock one. I just cut 2 inches off per side for the 2x4, and I flipped it upside down and put it at a little angle because this bracket's at an angle, so that way the actual bearing there is straight up and down. So that was easy. Also cut some holes in there so I can tighten it from the bottom. But yeah, a little recycle, making it easy, quick and easy. Tranny's mounted, carrier bearing, crossmembers welded. Probably weld some more, but it's in there for now. All right, inside the cab here, and you can see I cut an opening for the drive shaft, and I was able to just trim off the bracing here and keep that the same. A little hammer action right there. And then what I did is I just cut 3 sides of the back part here, and then I notched the center so I'd allow it to bend up. Yeah, I'm just gonna fold and bend that up and cap the sides in, and that's gonna clear. And then this side, Now I probably could have left this, but either way I can just tack it back in. Didn't know at first. And I'll probably just tack that, bend it straight out, build little filler pieces. It's gonna be real small, only like an inch. So for being like a 4-inch body drop and the drive shaft's level with the frame, not much clearance. And trans tunnel's a different story, but we're getting there. Got the trans tunnel started. Clearanced out a little bit more on the side here, just so I'd have room for tranny lines and everything. Kind of reshaped the back temporarily, got it tacked. Now I need to cut my filler pieces. It's about 3 inches. So I'm going to cut a strip and then trim down on the ends to get it dialed in, and should be all right. The headers, these are big block Chevelle headers. I don't know if there's other ones that work. These worked on the brown step side we did. You just have to clearance the frame a little here. And same thing on this side. You just got to give her a little something there. But they work, and we're able to get a tight bend, and this frame is only 4 inches thick, you know, so we're able to keep it, the exhaust is just a little bit above, but the floor is high. So this should clear. So I'm gonna get these with V-bands on them on both sides at the same spot, and then we'll move on because I can handle that with the cab on. So that's a lower priority deal. We're also swapping to single wheel hubs. So I ordered these ones, but you'll notice that they're thin and they stick out. So these aren't the right ones. You got to get these ones with the thicker rotor, because everything fit, but the pad was going to slide through because the spacing was wrong. So these should be the right ones. Now I can run wheel spacers to suck my wheels in and get rid of the big old hubs. I think I got the shifter situation solved. So 4L80, but we're running the little shifter deal off the Turbo 400, and then the square body linkage. What I did is I cut it, because normally it's longer, but it hits the frame. And I got this little 7/16 rod end, made a little tab, nut on each side. And next little thing off the list, I wanted to run a new battery cable. So I ran it down, and I ran it down inside the 2x4, and then it pops out up in here and goes to the starter. Can't see it. I needed to mount the battery, so I just whipped up a little 1x2 to the bottom and got that guy sitting there. So that should be out of the way. Amazon flexible dipstick, that's gonna go good right there. Secured up on the firewall. Boom. Also got fittings for these, so I'm gonna pop those in. Tuesday night, what is it? 9 days till we gotta go to C10 SLO Down. I don't really know what I did tonight, just checked off a lot of little random things. Got the fuel line secured, made battery cable, made the ground. So that's all janky looking. Got my hubs on. Got 1.5 inch wheel spacers now on single wheel hubs. And was testing to make sure my spikes are gonna fit. I had to clearance about 1/4 inch off of them. It's fitting. The hood, hinges, hit right now. I might just lay pinch for the time being. We'll see how time goes. So if I'm just laying pinch, maybe they won't hit the hood. But when I go to the rocker, they're for sure going to. So I figure worst case, I'm going to just delete the spring, which would make it really heavy for now. But then I could do some sort of a gas shock or something later. So we'll see. But here's where we are, looking like a truck again. Now time to start putting it back together. Chipping away at it. It's Saturday, the Saturday before C10 SLO Down. Working on the Driveshaft. It's just, I mean, the littlest amount too short, or too long, I mean. I moved the engine forward, and that 4L80 is a little longer, and it was so close. I was hoping I wouldn't have to shorten it, because I'm gonna put the Dana 80 that's narrower at some point in here. So I know I had to shorten it then, but it looks like I'm gonna have to shorten it now, and then I might have to shorten it again later. So I'm gonna get to cutting. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna cut right on the edge of the weld. And then this is 1.5 inch tape, so I just did a nice line. Then I'll cut back here. But I'm not gonna go into the weld like I normally would, because if I have to re-shorten this later, I just want to be able to cut on this side of it and get rid of all this weld and have a nice clean flange. But since I know I'm gonna have to do it later, I'm gonna run closer to this side so I have more meat to go backwards next time. I'm also gonna put a slice here as a reference line so I know exactly the clocking is perfect when I get it going back together. A little cutting, we got our end here, and we got our shaft, and you can see my line I scored in there. So in theory, I'll probably have to grind it, clean it up a little bit, but this will slide into there. We can weld her out. With the drive shaft loosely pressed together, I popped it in, ripped a little test fit, laid the truck all the way out, made sure. I knew that it was only gonna get, the distance was only gonna get further as it went up. But you know, you just do a check just in case, and I still got plenty there. So I think we're good. Now I'm gonna show you my little redneck dial indicator trick. All right, so here's my ghetto drive shaft aligner tool. Put a little point there, and I give this a spin. And you know, we're on the rack, so it kind of bounces a little bit, so I let it settle. It's hard to do it with one hand, but basically, that's how I do it. Spin it, check the gap, spin it, check the gap. I'm sure it's not dead perfect, but definitely good enough on a 50-year-old truck with out of balance tires and probably worn out rear end, and so that'll be the least of my worries. It's also 2-piece drive shaft, so I know the carry bearing shaft is good, so it'll be good on the transmission. This isn't gonna hurt the rear end. Got our notches lined up, so we're ready to weld. Just like that, drive shaft's back in and welded, 1.5 inches shorter. We got it down. We're gonna see if it'll move on its own, be a driver again. Ruined the videos off. Oh yeah, we're in business. We're in business. Now we gotta tackle that bed. Woo. I'm not 100% sure, but it looked like we were laying out on the e-brake seals. I don't know if that's holding us up or not, so we're gonna get rid of those and see. Man, it feels so good to see this thing outside again. It hasn't been that long. I tore it apart on like May 28th, and we're July 20th now. Spent a lot of weekends on the lake, went up to Yellowstone, so not working on it solid, but man, it still feels like this thing's been down a while. And super pumped, but we still got work to do. Man, this thing is laying hard. Still got that pinch weld. Not sure if I'm getting rid of that yet. It will be gone, I'm 90% sure. But for now, there she is. Looking so good. But now that brings us to the bed. It is time to tackle these fenders. They're not gonna clear, they're already, I mean, you can see this side I already freaking rubbed through or just dragging this baby. Also, you gotta whip up these bed braces because they're just so flimsy. Never did anything with theirs. I'm gonna brace those bed sides up and then start cutting these fenders. I was gonna try to stay above the stripe, but it's looking like it's gonna be easier to do it if I cut it lower in the fender. So I'm gonna have to sacrifice the stripe, then we gotta try to spot it back in and make it look not super obvious. So I'm gonna get to working. Got my little bed braces built up, so now we're solid. Boom. And this one should clear the battery and compressors and everything. I put a pretty steep angle on it. These ones got a lot deeper angle, but should miss the frame, and now that I think about it, it might hit the 4-link. So we'll see. If it comes to that, I'll just cut them and move them. Got some lines marked up, and I think that's where I'm gonna cut it. I've never done it before. Didn't really look anything up. I'm just going for it. I wanted to cut it down lower where the curve is more centralized instead of up here, where then you're gonna notice because you're gonna have to draw that out. So I thought lower would be better. Like I said, I was gonna try to save the stripe, but it's gotta look right in the end. So we're gonna have to just sacrifice it. Cutting up through here because I want to save this little angle here, so I have that to work off of. This is fiberglass, might as well just start cutting and we'll go from there. All right, I cut it. Let's see. Is it loose? It's got these studs in her, so can't do it with one hand. I'm gonna pop it out. So I got the piece off, and I was thinking, you know, since it used to sit here, but since the bed curves, the higher you go, the more in it goes. So technically this would be narrower. You'd have, you know, it's not, but I think if I angle it a little bit, so it makes this a little flatter, which would actually be better. And then it'll make that where that's even, and I can just go do a nice straight line to it. So I think that's gonna work out. Now that I got the top of the fenders cut off, I need to get the bed on and get this all trimmed out to where it's gonna be. I'm also gonna mark these holes before, so I know where they need to go to be centered. So I gotta clean all this junk out, get this bed on there, and we'll catch up. Hopefully my braces don't hit, so pray for me there. Bed's on, fenders are cut. I cut higher up into the bed. Still got these taller inner tires, which are kind of screwing me up right now. But basically I'm just gonna make the fenders as tall as I can, and that way we'll just see what'll happen, because I still have the pinch. I already said it, but I want to get rid of the pinch. But really the rear fender is going to be the only thing holding me up. So I got to see how much clearance I can get there, and that'll dictate how low the rest of the truck can go. I'm going to drill some holes 3 inches up higher than the other ones were as a start, and we'll see. This is what we're calling it for tonight. I'm going to sleep on it. Tomorrow we're going to keep getting after it. Got this fender cut, kind of pieced back together with some scrap and screws. Now I'm throwing some tape around it so I can fiberglass on the inside and not have it bleed all down the outside. Also helps give it some shape. So I'm gonna get this taped up and do the same thing on the other side. Then we'll catch back up. Got the second side screwed up, mocked up in place. So I just gotta get this fit and taped up just like this side. This side's ready for me to do my first layer on the inside. First application of fiberglass is in. We got 2 coats of some really heavy cloth here and up there. Where my tire rubbed through a couple on there. Tried to build up the new corner in there a little bit. This is just enough to give us something to build off of. Took forever. It took me like almost 2 hours of straight fiberglassing. But it's starting to set up, so I'm gonna keep working inside the truck and let that dry. It is Wednesday right now, and C10 SLO Down, we gotta hit the road on Friday. This one's setting up, so we pulled the tape and metal off, and that's looking all right. While that's drying, I'm working on some exhaust, making an X pipe, so cut these bed units. Got those there. I'm gonna tack that up and start making something work. All right, don't judge. We just kind of rushed and threw something together there, so it's pretty janky. Definitely gonna redo it once we start dialing everything in. But exhaust is in. I also wired up the shift controller, so that's there. Tomorrow's the last day to work on it. Gonna do something with the fenders. Probably not gonna get them all the way done, but at least gotta make them look a little bit better than that. So that's where we're at. Better work fast, huh?
Oh no, I put the slow stuff on it.
Okay.
So it should give you enough time to spread it.
The boys did some buffing. Got this thing shining up pretty decent. We got the bumper modified. It's pretty much laying flat out. So we're getting it. Already got the brown truck loading up for the show. And this is the state that we're in right now. Not ideal. 9 o'clock Thursday night. I got Jose helping me with some body work. Got Bradley. We just got the carpet in. Got the seats in. So this thing is about done. On this section, it got bombed with dust since we're working, but hey, it's just the way it goes. So we're gonna get this bed knocked out. Maybe throw a little paint on it. Get it on the rack. Get it on the truck. Get it loaded up. Don't judge us here. We're no prime gang. Straight to the spray paint, baby. We got time. We don't got time to kill, Monster Garage. Come on. All right, bed's on. We got the stripe masked up. Ready for our final coat of that gloss black spray paint. I got that stuck in. You got a turbo fan.
Center of that thing down enough.
Yeah, I knew that. But... Come on. Filled up a little bit of paint, but
it looks pretty legit.
better than just like all black or something. Looks like it's just too nice in there.
Yeah.
Like I should have done less.
And it looks green on my phone right
Should
here.
have done less coverage on my tires. Not hitting the bed because we got the smaller tires underneath. Alright, now we're looking good. I do hate it. It's Friday morning. We're heading to C10 SLO Down. Let's go. All right, we made it to the SLO Down. Just in the nick of time, still dirty from working on this old joint, looking rough, but there we are, come on. First time really seeing it out and about. Nice view behind her too. Oh yeah. Even my quick and dirty fenders don't look too bad, dude. And the step side, always looking good. So now we just gotta figure out how we're gonna get in here, get these babies parked. Give me a thumbs up. Hey. All right, we out here, we parked up, made it in the show. Big Kev, the dually, ready to chill out. All that work and it came down to this. Oh yeah. I can't believe how those turned out pretty freaking good for how quick we did those. Lol. Go to the store, grab the spray paint? Yep, that's close enough. Shoot. Got the step side shined up as well. I just had to fix these hood hinges. I don't know if anyone else has that problem, but the freaking CVF runs a bearing and it got all bent and it was chewing up, so I just deleted it. I don't know. Seems way better now. I think I'm just gonna run it that way. We made it. Check it out. C10 SLO Down. The dually is body drop. Look how hard it tucks those 24s. That work was worth it. We had a good time all day. We're gonna keep cruising this thing. I got more work to do. It ain't done, but it's looking good. So catch you guys on the next one.